Okay, so once again, you are most welcome. Let's look into the Uneb scoring guide for item 1. In here, we want to see how item 1 is marked. We want to see how item 1 is marked and how do they give the scores, the meaning of different letter names, and so on. Okay, now let's first of all go and see. So to begin with, we are going to look at the Uneb paper which they did last year. And of course the section said you are meant to attempt 4 questions, and the paper has 2 sections, section A and section B. Section A is comparison rate, has item 1 and 2, which you must attempt all of them. Then section B has 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Section B has part 1, which has item 3 and 4, and part 2 which has item 5 and 6. We are going to look into all of them each by one by one, and we see how are we meant to mark that specific question and which scores, which letter names do we specifically use. We want to see. Let's go there. Okay, now first before we move on, let's see the scoring guide for item 1. Which letters do we use in simple terms? Let's go there. So item 1 is marked based on a category and function. That is part A and part B. Like you can see there, part A and part B is marked based on that. I think let's first put the whole display here, then we explain one by one. So now the next part talks about dangers and the side effects. We have that. We also have that. We have that. We also have that. Okay, now let's see what some of these letter names mean. So when you're marking, first of all, item 1 is set on any scenario. We talk about a category. Allow me to resolve this. So we talk about a category. Erase. Oh, sorry. So we talk about a category. We talk about a category. We talk about a function, a category function, the dangers, and even the evaluation. Now in the category, like say for example, I would give an example please. Last year there is a sample paper, a Uneb sample paper they brought for chemistry. That was in June. That question she was talking about Onyera. It is a common one, I guess you know about it. So that question which was talking about Onyera, washing clothes and so on. So in there, the category of the material we are dealing with here is soap, or you can say soap detergents, because Onyera was using if you check on that paper, Onyera was using, in fact, if you make a follow-up, so Onyera was using a detergent to clean his clothes. So now they are under the category here. Look, under the category here, we are meant to talk about under the category here. Now the category there was a detergent. Then next, you must say the function of a detergent. Function of that detergent, you can say it removes dirt from clothes. That's the function of that detergent. Then next, you must talk about the dangers or side effects. Now the danger of the, now I've talked about the category. It was been a soap detergent. Function, it removes that from the clothes. Then a danger must be, okay, well, it can bring a skin burn. That is the danger. Then evaluation. Evaluation is a similarity. Like, say for example, if you're talking about a soap detergent, then we as well have what you call soapless detergent. So in the evaluation, you must come and talk about the similarities and differences. So you come and see the similarities of the soapless detergents and the soap detergents, then the differences between the soap detergents and soapless detergent. Now let's see how the scores are given. Now part A is marked using letter C, which is a category, letter C for category, and part B is marked using letter F, which means function. So this T means a total. Okay, good. So once a student gives a category and a function correctly, then a student qualifies to get 6 marks. Like this. But please, this implies that minimally, if you are giving the functions, the category may be 1. But when giving the functions, like say functions of the soap detergents are very many. Here I advise you, you must always give a minimum of 3 of them. 3 functions, please. You give 3 functions such that you can get all the scores. Okay, so now you see that the C plus F, once the student gives a function and a function gives a category and a function, qualifies to get 6 marks for part A and part B. Like here, you can decide to avoid the C and F, you can just put a tick, then you put 6 marks like that. You may divide them according to the way you want. Part A you can give it 3 and part B can give it 3 also. Or part A you can give it 2 and part B you give it 4, depending. Okay, now, what if a student only gives a category and fails to give a function? When a student gives a category without giving a function, that student qualifies to get 4 marks. Then what if when a student gives the function, okay, so you realize that here, what if a student gives only a function? That would be 0, 0. Like say for example, a student fails to give the category, but comes and gives us a function. No, now that would be very wrong, because if the category is wrong, even the function can't be. Okay, well, like if you're giving us only a function of what, yet you have not categorized, so a student will get 6, actually not 6 but 0. Now the total score here, the maximum score for part A and part B is 6 marks. That's a category and function. 6 marks, that is maximum. Then letter C stands for category, and letter F stands for function. So please better know that. Now we come still about item 1. The next, now since I talk about a category which has been a soap detergent, the function is removes that from clothes. Okay, now let's see, is there any danger of these detergents? Yes, we can say these detergents may result into skin burn. Now that skin burn there, we have DI, DE and DM. So DI means danger identified, DE means danger explained, and DM means danger mitigated. Please, the word mitigated means solving the problem. So we're saying we have danger identified, DI is danger identified. So DI is danger identified, DE is danger explained, DM is danger mitigated. You have them here. DI is danger identified, DE is danger explained, DM is danger mitigated. Now this word mitigated means solving the problem. Like say for example, if I use soap, you can say that one of the danger you can identify about the soap detergents is that can cause skin burn. That is a danger identified. How can I explain it? You can say that skin burn may result into pain and cancer. Okay, that's now we have explained. Now we have given a problem, skin burn, explained, can hence result into pain and cancer. That's explaining. Then how can we mitigate it? How can we mitigate it? To mitigate the skin burns from the soapless detergents, that can say wash the affected area using clean water. I hope that really makes some sense to you. Okay, so let's proceed. Now we have what we call evaluation. Now evaluation must give the similarities. Evaluation must give the similarities and differences. Okay, you must give similarities and differences. Maybe before you go to the evaluation here, we're coming back to the danger. So the danger, once you give a danger, explain it, mitigate it, you have 6 scores. But still, if you explain the danger and mitigate it, give that student 6 scores. And if a student identifies the danger and also mitigates it, give that student 6 scores. But what if a student only identifies the danger and explains it but doesn't mitigate? You give 4 scores. And in this point of dangers, please, you advise to always give 3 points. However, required is 2 of them. What I'm meaning, 1 point having all the 3. Explain, giving the problem, explain it and solve it. You must give 3 points in this area here. You must give 3 points always. 3 points maximum. Okay, so here now we proceed. You see that. But what if when a student only explains the danger? So when explain, now this D2 means total. This means total. That's why I'm not going to it. This D2 means total. Just like I had it T2 to mean it, the whole total you will have here will be 6, like that in simple terms. Or anyway, like this T2 may mean that you must give around 2 functions. If you can have 2 categories, also give 2 categories. That's what it means. Okay. So here you can give around 3 points or 2 depending. So once a student only explains the danger, 2 dangers of them, and gives 2 points, you must award 4 scores. Once gives 1 danger and explains it, okay, identifies a danger, then we award there 4 marks. Please, you may not necessarily go with this, but know the scores we use there. The scores for highest score for dangers is 6. The highest score for categories and function is also 6. Then let's see the evaluation. Evaluation is based on the similarity and the differences. Like, say for example, if you're talking about soap. If you're talking about soap, the third question which appeared last year in the sample guide, you realize that in the evaluation, you can talk about similarity, whereby we said that soap detergents and soap detergents are salts of organic acids of longer carbon chain. We have that in that science of the soaps. Let me hope you covered that. Or you can say the soap detergents and soapless detergents are effective cleansing agents. They all clean by the end of the day. That is a similarity. Now, in that category, give a similarity. Then on that very note, you also give a difference. So a difference here about the soap, I'm using that question which appeared last year. If you can look for it, you realize that now the differences, you can say that with the soapless detergents, they do not form scum with any form of water. Yeah, you know those differences there. So in the evaluation, we talk about the similarities and the differences. Then let's see. Once a student gives a similarity and a difference, then it qualifies to get 6. But a student gives only a similarity, qualifies to get 3. And the student gives only differences, no similarities, qualifies to get 3. It implies that a 3 plus 3 gives you 6. A combination of the similarities and the differences gives you 6. There we are. Okay, great. Let's see. So that is it. Now let's go and look into the, okay, maybe just comment on this still before we go. So the total scores for this question is 18. Why? You add the 6 plus a 6 plus a 6, it gives you 18. However, not all questions will have a continuation up to this level. Some questions may end here and there. However, the last year the Uneb sample guide they brought contained this, that, and that. So you know that with it was meant to be marked out of 18. Let's move to the next part. Now you're going to see how Uneb item 1 was scored based on this marking criteria. Let's go there. Yeah. Okay. So let's go through the discussion. Item 1, remember it is section A, which has 2 items and all of them are always compulsory. Now, we shall be making a video soon or later about the areas of construct as requested by some colleagues in the same profession. Now, okay, we shall be stepping into the areas of construct and we get them explained in details such that we can try to demystify some of the areas of chemistry. Okay, so now the question says, let's go through it. So the question says, there's a pen. So it says, during the Second World War, the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan were bombed using the most lethal weapon of time, which caused the massive destruction as shown in figure 1. We have figure 1 there, picture. However, the energy that was used can be useful in the treatment of cancerous growths in humans. Up to now, the impact of the bombing is still being felt in Japan. By the way, what you must know about this is, in the Second World War, Japan was, in simple terms, I would say Japan was against America in that war. Well, there were some other smaller countries which you call allies. So, and America was not on the same side with Japan. But in this time, America wanted Japan to stop the war. They wanted to cease fire, but Japan was resisting. So, in a way to cool down Japan, America decided to release a bomb, okay, a nuclear bomb, to some of the towns of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were strong points of Japan by then. And guess what this bomb did? And then also, besides calming down the Japan efforts about the World War, America, its aim was to exercise its powers to see how good was their weapon. Anyway, it claimed lives, and that isn't really good. So that happened in 1945. Anyway, is that so? I don't know. But I think in 1945, that's when that happened. August. Okay, some good years ago. And of course, in that war, you should know, please, over 150,000 people died. Over means it can even go to around 200 people lost their lives in that war. So now that's the story we have. I'd want to see which questions will come on next. So task, they're saying, as a learner of chemistry, identify the type of bomb used. Now we say that part A. We say that part A. So I think let's proceed. So task, they're saying, as a learner of chemistry, identify the type of bomb used. Now remember that part A talks about the category, which we say that part C, and part B talks about the function. Maybe first of all go there and see. We look at them. We go there and look at them first of all. We're going to look at them. So you see that here, part A, okay. You realize that here, I think that part A talks about a category. In fact, part A talks about a category and part B talks about a function. If you can see that. So, part A talks about a category and a function. Let's go there. Then part C will talk about the dangers, effects. But in the dangers, expect three things: danger identified, danger explained, danger mitigated. Let's go there and see. Let's go there and see. Okay, there we are. Now let's see. What was required here? Identifying the type of bomb used. Now you must identify the category of material they used here. And now let's see. So shall we say that nuclear bomb? So in there they use the nuclear bomb, and of course what we would accept here would be a nuclear bomb, or we would also accept this answer was also acceptable. This answer whereby you say, if a student said atomic bomb, you give a mark. Okay, if a student said atomic bomb, you would give a mark. If a student said nuclear energy, you would give a mark. If a student said nuclear fission, you would give a mark. Please take note of this SP. If a student used here fusion, then that was wrong and not acceptable. So it is fission, not fusion, because fission means splitting. Of course, when they launched this bomb, it had to split and release the energy. So it is fission, not fusion. Okay, and that was it as far as that area is concerned. The students who said that radioactive substance, not really. That was not really acceptable, and they were not awarded the marks. So that's part A done. Let's get part B. Part B, are going to see the function. Is there any use of the nuclear energy? Is there any use of nuclear energy in simple terms? Is what we are looking at here. Let's go and see. So we shall say that used in the treatment of cancerous cells, then also used for the production of electricity to run industrial machines. Now, okay, here. So realize that used in treatment of cancerous cells, yes, they can get that nuclear energy and direct it to, maybe someone has a wound on the leg, a cancerous wound on the leg. They can direct those rays, the nuclear energy there, and it will kill the cancerous cells. Okay. Then also another use on the other hand would be used for production of electricity to run industrial machines. This is not really common here in Africa, but in some of the developed countries they use this nuclear energy here to run some industrial machines or in the factory. So source of electricity in simple terms. That's what we are trying to look into here. So now about the uses, please. The uses, part B of this item 1, I advise you to always give around 3. Always, sorry for that. Okay, I always advise you to give 3. I advise you to give 3 points here in this area. Always give 3. However much they would want to, but always give 3. Maybe let's go and look into the marking criteria. How do we mark? We agree that part A we mark using letter C, and part B we mark using letter F. Let's go. So letter C, a category and 2 functions given to us. Let's see. The total A C plus F gives us 6. Let's see there. So when you get that the C, if a student is given a category, correct category and correct uses, a student qualifies to get 6. Please, other marking criteria have been clearly defined or outlined up there. Maybe just remind you. Like what I'm meaning is, if a student gives here in our question, our guide, we have a category and function, so you're giving 6. But if a student gives only a category, you give 4. Anyway, go back. So let's now move to the next part. That's part C. So part C, there we are explain the other danger associated. Now here the word is danger. So here the word is danger, and in the danger here we had these namings here. We had DI, we had DE, this is DE, we had DM, whereby this one meant danger identified, danger explained, danger mitigated. Mitigated means providing a solution to problem. So let's go there and see. First, have that. So now we have, and we shall see how the marking is done also. We shall put the marking also, the scores, and we see the way forward about this. Okay, let's see how the marking is done. Okay. And then to that. Okay, now let's see. So here we have our guide there. Let's see. So you see that now they're saying the energy emitted can cause mutations. Now mutation is, that is a danger identified. It is a danger, not that good. So a danger identified is mutation. Then next you must explain it. So that is the DE. Thus the mutations can cause sudden change in the arrangement of the DNA or the genetic composition of the cells, hence altering the characteristics of organisms. So that's a danger explained. So when you give a danger, be there to explain it. Okay, after that now you put there a tick and the E. These are now 2 marks here and this. Now the E, that's the danger explained. So this can be mitigated, means that solving a problem. How can it be stopped? By wearing protective gear such as lead coats. So now lead coats, they don't allow radioactive substances or even nuclear energy to penetrate through them, and that can be a way to mitigate or to prevent the damage caused by the nuclear energy. So you see that you have the DE, DI, DE, and DM, and this is just 1 point. By the way, from here up here, this is just 1 point, but it's built up by all those 3 things: danger identified, danger explained, danger mitigated. Okay, now the same thing can be done here, though we didn't repeat. Here I can put DI, DE, DM. I didn't want to repeat myself. I told you can as well just put ticks and put the marks there. Remember, here each point has 3 marks: the one for identifying the danger, explaining the danger, and mitigating the danger. So instead have there, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what we have. Let's move on. So that's what we have. Now next they're saying the energy emitted can cause cancer. That's DI, danger identified, resulting into death, danger explained, DE, the stick. Then mitigated by wearing protective gear such as lead coats by posting. Okay, lead coats, but we talk about that lead coats. I've explained it. Or by posting warning information in the working area. Yeah, like you ever seen? Okay, they will even put some gadget. They can even put a hand and they draw our thumb. You ever seen? If they are trying to signal that this substance is hot, they'll put there the palm, your hand from the wrist up to your fingers. They can put that symbol, then they'll draw a line in there to mean that this place is hot, so don't touch. So they can put areas, warning signs. You ever seen on the electric poles? They can put there a skeleton, a head, a skull, to show that it is dangerous. So don't raise or don't mess up with it. And as far as this question is concerned, that's where everything ended. But the word mutation in simple terms means a disorganization in the genetic arrangement. Genetic arrangement means how your body comes up. It is more of the biology, but I'm using the simple words to at least explain that. The mutation means in simple terms, when a mutation is tempered with, what do we expect to see? Like in Hiroshima, people are born. By the way, in Hiroshima, people are born without any eye or without eyes. Someone is born and realizes that the hand is on the back, and not all that balanced and a bit disgusting to look at. Anyway, sorry for what happened for those people in Hiroshima, but that's what happens there. So when a mutation is tempered with, when your genetic material has got a mutation, it means that people produced will be lame in simple terms. Okay, so that has been our item. Okay, 1 part C. Now let's see, how do we get the marks? So when you combine, there you give 6 marks maximum. So part C of item 1 on any standard paper must be given 6 marks. However, an examiner has got a right to put any score of his or her choice. Now you would also want to see this. Please look at this. You realize that here up the side. So when you look at this is 6. Let's go up. Even it is 6. So you add 6 plus 6, you get 12. I don't know if you can see that. It is 12. Though, however, when you look at our table, here, it was telling us that when you add, get this. When you add a 6 plus 6 plus 6, you get 18. Yeah, that is right. But here we had only 6 and 6. Why? We had the category function dangers only. This evaluation we didn't have it. Is there anything which is similar to nuclear energy in a way? Hard to get, but that's what we are trying to mean here. Okay, let's now continue. So you realize that this marked the end of that item 1. Next will be item 2. Okay, wish you well. Please make sure you subscribe, share, such that other colleagues of ours also get to know, and those who are still new in the system also get to know how the marking is done as far as item 1 chemistry is concerned. Wish you well. See you again in another video.